What is up, everyone? Welcome to another video. So lately I've been getting a lot of messages from people on Instagram asking me what are the things you should look out for, or what should you know before matching with a host family, or when you're looking for a host family. So I decided to grab my camera and record a video for you guys. But before I get into today's video, a big shout out to these two people on the screen. Thank you so much for being the first people to, was it the last video? Yes, for being the first people to comment in the last video. Now I'm gonna get really quick. You guys are gonna see me seated soon, and then we'll get into today's video. So people have been DMing me, asking me what should they look for when they're looking for a host family, and how and where and what. So I'm here to answer all you guys' questions, and from now onwards I'm just going to send a link. So the first thing you need to consider is what age gap you can manage on your own. The keyword is on your own, because I know what a lot of people, and even with me, I've had different age gaps, but I was always helping out with other people. So I was at like a daycare, I worked at a daycare. Even when I babysat, I would babysit like different ages, but what age gap can you look after? And another thing is how many kids. You need to be honest and real with yourself. However, don't be scared if a host family has 6 kids and be like, I don't want a host family with 6 kids because this and this. Some au pairs that have had host kids with 6 kids have said it's actually been so easy and so helpful because the older kids also help. So don't also cut that off, or don't also limit yourself. The next thing to consider is what type of job your host family does. You have to, even though for some people they don't care what type of job your host family does, I would say this is one of the important things, because let's say, for example, your host family's in medicine and they both have to go on call. You need to figure out if you're going to be working when they go on call, what's going to happen. Let's say they're on call overnight. Are you going to have to stay? Well, obviously you're going to be sleeping, but if they leave, are you going to be looking after their kids? If they're on call for a whole weekend, do you have to be within a certain radius? And another scenario is if your host family is a teacher or a professor. Usually summertime, or when it's vacation, they get 3 months off. Are you gonna be okay with having your host family for 3 months in the house? Oh, I almost dropped the table. I'm just trying to get comfortable. But are you gonna be okay with your host family in the house for 3 months? Those are things you also have to ask yourself, because even though it seems like minor things, it can become a problem when the time comes. Number 3, what are the house rules? You have to know the house rules, and you have to go into detail about the house rules, because this is also one of the main reasons why people want to go into a rematch. Because think about it. Your host family may say, hey, you're allowed friends, but they don't say if you're allowed to have friends sleep over, or your friends can only come in the day. Are you allowed to have your friends over when they're there only, or when they're not there? Do they want to meet your friends before you bring friends over, or they just chill with you bringing whoever in the house? Are you allowed same sex only, or are you allowed opposite sex? You need to know all these rules, because it's going to seem like you're being disrespectful, and you're going to get irritated because you're going to think they're treating you like a child. But at the end of the day, it is their home, so you have to find out these rules. Another thing with this is also, let's say, for example, in your hometown, when you cook, somebody else washes dishes. Whereas in this household, when they cook, they wash dishes too. You're gonna get frustrated because they don't want to wash the dishes. They're gonna get frustrated at you because they think you're lazy and you don't want to wash the dishes, but you cook. So it's small things like those that you can avoid. So I would say find out the house rules, set some ground rules, and just figure out, because it also could be cultural clashes. And yeah. Okay, I'm not telling you all these rules to make you scared. I'm actually in the middle of recording another video. So if you're liking this video so far, give the girl a like and a subscribe. My next point, which is number 4, the car. You need to figure out, number 1, are you going to have a car, or you're not going to have a car? That's the first rule. And by the way, since we're talking about the car, you're not required to get a car. Host families are not required to give you a car. They give you because they want to. However, in certain places, it's pretty hard to get around without a car. But back to the car. You need to figure out the rules for the car. Are you allowed to go overnight with the car, or are you allowed to bring it back? Does the car have a curfew? What's going to happen with the gas? Are you going to pay for full gas, or are they going to pay for full gas? How much must you contribute to gas? And are you allowed other people in the car? Are you allowed other people to drive the car? I know with me and a few, like there's like 90% of au pairs, they're not allowed to let anyone else drive the car. However, I've had a friend who their host family was comfortable with her friends driving the car as long as they met us. So these are things that you need to find out because it may irritate you. You may come here thinking, oh yeah, I got a car to drive, but a car here is not like your car. It's not your car from your home country. It's a different car. It does not belong to you. So you need to find out all the ground rules, or else it's gonna irritate you once again. Last but definitely not the least, the location. The reason I say the location is important is because you're gonna want to come here, you're gonna want to travel. If you want to turn up, you want to go to places where you can dance on the weekend, lay your hair down, then I would definitely say look into your location. So the minute a host family says, hey, I want to speak to you, I'm from Florida, this, look up the area, because you don't want to go to an area where you can't stand it or you end up getting depressed because it's too quiet for you. I know a girl who was from Johannesburg and she was from the busy areas, and then she came here and it's like so quiet, rural suburbs, and she struggled because she just felt like, oh my gosh, this place is too quiet. And then I also know people who have come from quiet places in South Africa and live here in the busy city hustle bustle areas, and they struggle because it's just too noisy. So I would say look up the location, because you also don't want to come here and feel irritated. However, if you have a car and you have a good subway system, like let's say you're in New York or certain places where you don't need a car because the transport system is amazing, I would say don't let it stop you, because you can still go and explore. You can still go to other places on the weekend. There's always that, and it actually helps sometimes having different environments because you learn to adapt. So don't let it completely stop you, but you need to make sure you know exactly that you're going into the location you want to go into, or you do research, because you don't want to get there and be irritated, or you get there and you're like, oh, it's New York. No, darling, there's some places that are still super quiet that are like an hour and a half outside of Times Square. So you need to think of all those things, do some research, see how far it is from the busy areas or vice versa, and make sure you are happy. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Current au pairs or past au pairs, please comment down below and tell me what's the one thing you think I forgot or that you would like future au pairs to know. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Make sure you push that like button. Bye.